What's good, y'all? Elvis here. Welcome to another episode of Better Barbering. For those that don't know, Better Barbering is a series that I started where I share tips and tricks that make me a better barber, that other people can use to make them better barbers, and ideally better people. Right now, I'm at the laundromat near the suite, just cleaning some towels or whatnot. But while I'm waiting, I figured I might as well shoot a video. And today's video is all about being a booked up barber is not a flex. So for most people, being booked up is the goal. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a business, especially when you're self-employed and you're doing one-to-one services, you maximize your business when your schedule is filled. Especially when you're starting, it's ideal to fill up your schedule. And being booked is not the problem, but being booked up is the problem. I really kind of tapped out of like most of the barber community online because I think y'all are kind of, not trying to come at you guys, you watching, but a lot of the people in the industry I feel like they're really misguided as far as what their real intention with this craft is, or with their business, or whatever they want to consider it. My goal with my business was to have life on my terms and do what I want. And then eventually it was, I wanted to express myself in a certain way. And then it grew into, I want to express myself around a certain kind of people and enjoy that kind of energy exchange. And then money came with that. And I've gone through a bunch of stages with my business where, you know, I first started, I wasn't very booked, but then I got booked. And from early in my career, being booked up was like 2 haircuts a day because I was in college. I had many other time and energy investments, or I didn't have that much time available to really cut hair. So the little time that I did have available, if I was booked up with 2 appointments a day, shoot, that was packed out for me, especially because I didn't need to make that much money at that time. I wasn't focused on making the money. But then later in my career, booked up became 10 to 15 haircuts a day, especially when I got in my real hustler season. So booked up means different things to different people. If you want this to be your hobby, it's a lot easier for you to be booked up in that. If you want this to be your main job, like you spend all your time doing this, that becomes a little more difficult. That thing that a lot of people don't talk about is when you raise your price, that's a whole new business you're starting. Like one thing, like when you raise your price, about half your clients are gonna leave. That's just how it's gonna work. That's human nature. That's how it's gonna go. Some of them might come back, but you're also opening up space for other clients that value your time and energy at a different level. So it's not always a problem. When I was charging about, let's say, $15 to $20, I was booked up year round, maybe minimum a week and a half, maximum 3 weeks in advance. And I felt like I was doing something, you know what I'm saying? I had money rolling in, my expenses were low. But over time, I didn't want to spend as much time doing this, but also I became way better, so my supply could not meet the demand for my services. So I raised my price, and now my price is significantly higher, and I'm a lot less booked, but I have a lot more time in my schedule. I'm being compensated on a way higher level as far as monetary compensation, but also fulfillment. I don't feel like a slave anymore. And I mean, right now I'm in a season where I got to get my bag up, so I'm not gonna I need to grind and slave a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But there's seasons through this. But then now, because I'm at this new level, the grind is a different kind of grind. Like the grind I'd have to do to get some bills paid back when I was charging $20 for haircuts is very different now that I charge like $70. But also, I'm realizing that being booked up did not mean I made any more money. It just means I was expending so much time and energy. Now I have a much higher level of sovereignty than I could ever imagine cutting way less hair. And I think a lot of times you get caught up in the game of, I'm this amount booked, I want to get all the way booked. But then when you become booked up, like, it's not a flex because of course your books are filling, that feels good, but you've also just capped your income, and that's not a flex. If you're cutting more hair than you want to, I don't think that's a flex. You just signed up for a job, but you the boss, you the one cutting the paychecks. And being overbooked is even worse because now you don't have the time and energy to meet the demand of your services. When you're overbooked, that means you're stuck at making this amount of money. What I think is the worst part of being overbooked is now I have a bunch of people blowing up my phone. I'm the most anti-social media, I'm the most anti-phone barber you will ever meet. Like, I'm kind of a butthole, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's people that text me and hit my DMs talking about, oh, I need a haircut. I'm gonna leave them hanging. Because first off, everybody that knows, on every post I make, book in my bio. In my bio, it says, check the booking link before you text a DM. If you're the kind of person that doesn't want to read that, but you feel like you want to hit me up and have an exchange, shoot, I'm not the barber for you. Like somebody talk about, oh, I need a haircut. That don't mean shit to me. You need a haircut, not necessarily my haircut. There are infinite barbers. Niggas are learning how to cut hair every day. You can learn to cut hair at the crib. You saying you need a haircut don't mean nothing to me. Now, if you want access to my time and energy, okay, book through the link. It's literally easier to book through the link than it is to text me and ask me questions about booking. Now, unless it's like a real weird situation, all the information is available. So I already know somebody going out their way to like, oh, wanting to text me and figure out times is somebody that doesn't really value my time at that level, because realistically, you could do it, save yourself so much time and energy. And my policy has been like this for a long time. If you're going out your way to text me for a haircut and I've never cut your hair before, you more than likely, you don't know that I charge above average. So I've had too many conversations with people where they're trying to have a whole exchange and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, okay, what time? Okay, where you at? Okay, what price? Nigga, are you serious? Like, all that information is up there. One time I had this client, well, it's not my client. This was a customer. Never actually cut this person's hair. But this person texted me talking about, oh, hey, I found you on Instagram and I wanted to book an appointment and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, appreciate it. I booked through an online link. I was already annoyed because I'm like, it takes more energy to text me asking about an appointment than it does to just book an appointment. I told this dude, oh, I got a online link. I booked all my appointments through. He says, well, I don't know. I'm assuming this dude's gender. But this person says, oh, I prefer to text. And I completely left that nigga hanging. Because if I responded, I would have said some shit like, sounds like you prefer another barber. Like, I don't have time for that bullshit. If you want to have a conversation, cool, we can have a conversation in the chair. But I'm not about to sit here and have bullshit conversation with you when you could solve the problem yourself. That's already a key indicator that this is going to be a problematic client. That's what I also think is an issue with being overbooked. One thing I've realized about my clientele, I'm going to say this till the day I die, I have the best clientele on the planet. Nobody has a better clientele than me. It's not about how much they're paying, even though they pay above average. It's about the quality of interaction, and that these are people that are authentically connecting with me. Like, there's nobody that sits in my chair that I'm annoyed by, like, man, this nigga. Actually, there's been a few, but I got weeded out of my business. It's extremely rare case that somebody sits in my chair and they're not somebody that I would be friends with if we hung outside the chair one time. There might have been like 4 people in the last year and a half, but they got weeded out of my business very quickly. Every time I became more booked than I wanted to, I raised my price, lost a good amount of clients. I wouldn't even say lost a good amount of clients. I would say I passed off a lot of clients to other people, because a lot of them are still retained as my clients, but I passed them a recommendation that is more within their budget. You know what I'm saying? Because haircut services are not that valuable. I don't care what anybody says. Maybe it's because I'm a barber and my relationship with haircuts is very different. Like, haircuts are water to me, but it's all about human interaction. I think it's similar to like going out to eat. Like, people go out to eat and order pasta all the time. You know how easy it is to make pasta at the crib? But you're not paying for the pasta, you're paying for the experience. You're paying for the ambiance, you're paying for the service with the waiter. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's these intangible things that you're paying for that come with the transaction. And haircuts are the same. Like, if your barber is somebody that you like and respect and you really value this person's time and energy, like, I have people paying me what I consider a stupid amount of money for a glorified shape up. You feel me? But they think it's worth it and think it's worth more than the price that I charge because they tip me. You feel me? I'm at a point where it's like, I don't assume I'm going to be friends with barbers because we do the same thing. Because we don't do this shit the same. I mean, this is more than a haircut to me. This is energetic exchanges that I'm having with people that are benefiting my life, and then also there's some money involved. And I retain so many clients because of that. There's a lot of people I cut maybe yearly on a special occasion. That nigga my friend. You feel me? And there's a lot of people I don't ever cut. I haven't cut in like maybe years. But we still have that good rapport. If they have opportunity that makes sense for me, they're gonna put me on. And every time they get a chance to co-sign me, they do. And it's a reciprocal relationship, especially if I happen to know a barber that could cut them. That I don't recommend barbers that I wouldn't go to personally. But if I know a barber they can go to in like a city over here because they moved or whatever, I throw them the recommendation. Like, if I hear about an opportunity they can make some money that makes sense for them, shoot, here you go. We're investing time and energy in each other. Like, these are people that I really give a fuck about, that care about me. Like, fuck the money. Money come with it. I'm low-key ranting, get a little passionate, but also it's kind of hot in this car. But being booked up is not a flex, but getting a certain amount of booked is a goal because it shows that you're growing your business. So I think it's really important, like every few months, to like say have an audit and try to understand what your real objective overall with your business is, because it's so easy to get lost in the sauce. I was undercharging for a long time, being overworked, underpaid. It didn't mean too much to me at that time because I was really working on the skill set and the craft and other pillars of my business. But it got to a certain point where I was doing my clients a disservice because my book only allowed people to book 3 weeks in advance. There's a lot of times where people couldn't even get their next appointment if they didn't book while they were in the chair for this current appointment, because my demand was so high, but my supply was so low. And then it got to a point where people were like, bro, if you can just cut my hair, I'll pay you double. And that's a very different level. But it's not even about the haircut, it's about the quality of interaction. Because I send my clients to barbers all the time. A lot of them come back because they're like, they do the haircut well, but it's not you. I like talking to you. You're my dog. Some people's more transactional. But there's barbers at every perception of value, regardless of what level it is. I know homies that is paid. I'm talking about more money than I could think of what to do with. But their perception of value says, man, I don't want to pay more than $30 for a haircut. I don't value my hair that much. And I respect that. We should only go where we share a perception of value. A quick plug, I got an online course platform called the College of Better Barbering. I got a free class up there called Better Barbering 101, where I go over the 6 pillars of becoming a better barber. It's free, check the link if you want it. But also I got a class on setting and raising your price. That actually costs a little bit. That's like $20, it's super cheap. But check the link in the bio, it's all up there. But appreciate y'all again. If you got any value, go ahead, like, subscribe. But till next time, Craft of a Clout, I'm out.